right? The schedule came out.
Mm-hmm.
We got it on the ticker right here. If you're watching, if you're listening, we're gonna read it out. Don't worry. So how do you want to go about this? We want to talk about the schedule. Just go through each one and then talk about the games that stick out to us. What do you think?
Let's talk about the games that stick out to us first, and then maybe talk about some of the smaller games. So, um, I think the thing that sticks out to me first is that we play the AFC West 3 times before the bye. So we
Yeah,
figure out basically the Raiders to get a chance to see how they stack up against those AFC West teams. I think that would be a good sign to see where they are, and I think they're gonna at least do well against 2 of those teams. So I see, yeah, because usually Patriots teams, they start off slow. All right, so we'll see how they gather themselves and kind of figure out what kind of team they are. So I don't expect them to come out like 4-0 or something like that. I think they kind of have to kind of figure it out at the beginning, but I think they're a good enough team. Well, where they'll probably make it to like 3-2 through those first 5 weeks. So, what do you think, BD?
yeah. I mean, I agree that the first part of the schedule is definitely tough sledding.
Hmm.
It's divisional matchups, right? So it's not saying
Yeah.
that the Raiders, aren't competitive against these teams necessarily, but it's in the division. It's a toss up every time. So I expect it to be no different this year. Raiders are going to trade games with some of these teams. It
Hmm.
is what it is. But I think after the bye, looking at week 7 in Houston,
Hmm.
week 8 in New Orleans, week 9 at Jacksonville, week
Okay.
10 got Indianapolis Colts at home, and then week 11 in Denver, week 12 in Seattle. To me, that middle part of the schedule is super winnable. Like the Raiders should go in there, handle business in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do
Oh,
you think?
I 100% agree with that. Because I mean, even if you look at it on paper, they're better than those teams. So, Houston, they're better. They're on paper. I mean, you could argue the Saints maybe, but I would say no. They lost Marcus Williams, and so they got to replace that on the back end. And that was a big key to their whole defense because for allow them to play the too high stuff that Dennis Allen likes to play, and allow them to move him
Oh,
around.
come on. I
Yeah,
mean, with the Saints, it's Sean Payton's out.
yeah.
Yeah. So we don't know who the Saints are going to be. They might be really good.
And let's be honest, Raiders fans, we saw Dennis Allen as a coach. Maybe, I don't
We
know.
saw him.
Maybe
We saw
maybe
him.
he's a better defense coordinator. Maybe he changed. We're saying the same things about Josh McDaniels, but he at least went 8-8. I just a coward. So
Right. Yeah.
at least went 8-8 with Carter. No, he had Carson Palmer, bro. I feel like Josh McDaniels was a little better with Carson Palmer. So yeah, I think they have a chance to really get off to a really good start this season, and then to be prepared for the last slate because I think the Chargers could probably be a better team because I think by then they're going to fire Joe Lombardi and put a real NFL offense coordinator in there by then. If Brandon Staley wants to keep his job at least, because that's going to
Okay.
be their problem is they got Joe Lombardi. The Rams are going to be damn good. They're going to be good again. I think the Patriots are going to be good. You can't. That's going to be a Bill Belichick's got the game circled.
Yes. So
So I think
McDaniel's.
I think
McDaniel's
they're gonna
even
lose
more
that game.
so.
I don't know. That's gonna be a tough game, man. I feel like they're gonna lose that game because I feel like
Ooh.
Bill's thinking about Denver '09. They're gonna go back and do that one, bro. That'd be awesome. But Pittsburgh, that's just gonna be like a Immaculate Reception game. But I'm surprised they didn't do that on the anniversary of that. I think that was kind of weird.
Or I see what you're saying.
That's probably like my only problem with the schedule is that they didn't do that for
The anniversary of the Tuck Roll,
yeah, no, the
or
Immaculate Reception.
the Immaculate Reception. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I might be wrong on that, but I think they should have mixed it up on that. So,
It's
but
interesting. I didn't think about it like that. Last 2 games on the schedule: San Francisco, the 49ers coming to Vegas.
mhm.
These teams can play again because they can have a game outside of the Bay Area now, right?
Yeah, hmm
I still think it's going to be rowdy. That's going to be the rowdiest game of the year. especially if the Raiders are in playoff contention at this point.
Oh, for sure.
That's gonna be a serious game. And then Week 18, Kansas City, TBD. If everything goes to plan, that one gets flexed into prime time, right? Week
Yeah,
18 gets Kansas City at home.
yeah. I think can, that'd be a big game for them to. I wouldn't say like get into the playoffs. 'Cause I think they're going to be a playoff team pretty easily. I think they're gonna make the playoffs pretty easy, in my opinion. I might, maybe that comes back to bite me as a Raiders media, whatever this is, or film breakdown guy, whatever,
Yeah,
right? That
right.
might come back to bite me, but I feel very confident about this team just because they weren't as good as they are last year and they made the playoffs. So, and I think Derek Carr is a lot more locked in, and then Darren Wallace could be locked in, Javonte Adams is gonna be locked in. I think the offense is gonna be really good, no matter what, and I think the defense is gonna be a lot better than we think. So, I think they're gonna be at least in the playoff hunt by the end of the season, but I think the KC game would be for probably a little bit more than that. But who knows if they come up with that game as Patrick Mahomes late in the season. Him and Travis Kelsey, they turn it on late. They know when they're veterans over there. I mean, it's kind of like the Warriors. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the Warriors are putting it down, but look at them, they're in the championship, hit the third seed, but because they've been there before, they've been through the end of the season. They know how to get there. The Raiders, they learned how to win last year, which I think was a good thing. And I think it will come back in the season of that young core still coming back that learned how to win together. So this is a big thing.
Oh, of course, of course. I mean, definitely keeping as much of continuity together. That's something that is missing in today's NFL because free agency and there's the game is getting is even more violent and there's gonna be injuries left and right, but the teams that stick together I think are the teams that you continually see
Man, just
have
look at that.
consistent success. Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you, BD, but just look at the schedule, man. This got to be the easiest schedule they've had in years. Good lord.
they say it's supposed to be the strength of schedule is pretty high on this one. They say.
They play the AFC West though, and the NFC West. So of course it is. They had what? They had three playoff teams last year. So based on both. So the NFC West had three playoff teams, and the Chargers went 9-8, KC went 12-5, and even Denver and Tennessee went 12-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then New England went 10-7. Pittsburgh went 9-8. So yeah, it's a tough schedule, but these teams on paper in 2022 it's a little different.
How many games? Let's go through this.
Okay.
How many games are for sure wins, for sure W's?
For sure. Okay. I never said that. I can't say that, man. I can't say that. I'll say they should be favored. Where they should be favored. Okay. How about that? Let's say that.
No, you want to do that? I mean, come on. That's just like we're just gonna say half the games. I for sure Week 7 against Houston.
Yeah, they got to
win at home after a bye week for sure. If they don't win that one, Josh McDaniels ain't the real deal. Okay?
No, he's not. He's not.
At Jacksonville, I don't care who their coach is. I don't care.
yeah, they got to be Jacksonville. Yeah, they got to be Jacksonville.
You know what I'm saying? I like that they're playing the AFC South. I like that.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
I think they got to beat Indy at home too. I think that's good. Indy's gonna have, of course, the hype and the great coaching, but
I'm not gonna say Indy is a definite win because who knows what Matt Ryan we see if he's rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? If he comes out there playing his best ball when they got the running attack that they have, they could be dangerous. Indy could be super dangerous.
I think with older quarterbacks like Matt Ryan, he's gonna go over to the Colts. He's just go boom. But it's more about what he does as the year goes on because he's an older quarterback. That's what you got to watch old with the quarterbacks like 37, 38, especially if they go to like a new team. I mean, he's gonna be happy. He's gonna be refreshed. Just he got some good players around him, and he got that great line for the first time, and he's had in like years. So he's gonna be refreshed. It's just how do they finish the year? with him playing quarterback. So I expect the Raiders to be getting hot at that point, and Indy to kind of be going down a little. So we'll see.
Yeah. The last point that I want to make, going back to you talking about how they're playing the AFC West in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, early, like in week 5, week
Mhm.
4, and week 1, AFC West. I think that goes in the Raiders' favor big time
Oh yeah.
because these other teams, yeah, Denver's they have a new coaching staff, okay, but for Kansas City, for Los Angeles, you know, they're gonna have to figure out early on, like, okay, what is the Raiders' schematic identity, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Especially the Chargers week 1. They're gonna be going into it blind. Trying to
We're not though. That's the
right.
thing. We already put a game plan. Hey, what did we do last year to stop you? And and how about we switch it up? Because I mean, that's the game. Because if the Chargers are smart, which I know Brandon Staley is, they're going to be watching the game they played against the Patriots last year. That's the game they're probably going to be watching, and they're probably going to try to expect that type of scheme to come against them. Because I mean, that's what I would do, I guess. So I feel like Brandon Staley's he is a smart guy. He's a smart coach. I think he's going to try to take that approach. But we don't know what they're going to do because they're such an adjusting team. Nobody knows except them.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
the scary part. So that's why I think, but they do sometimes start off slow. But maybe, I mean, I think you're onto something that maybe it is good for them to play some of these teams early because I think Arizona's going to be down a little bit. They're not going to be as strong. I mean, they're not going to have Hopkins, right? So you
Yeah.
got them without Hopkins. They lost Kirk. So basically, we got Marquise Brown and AJ Green. I think, right? I think they finally brought back Green, right? And then they never really have the best line. They never really address it. And then Kyler Murray. You know how I feel about Kyler. Just get your hands up, guys. I'm sure they'll be jumping like they did what the Patriots did back in the day.
All
So
right, all right. Screw it. Week 2, Arizona, definite win. Definite win.
yeah, yeah. I
Book
need that.
it.
I need that just because I'm from Phoenix.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go. I might have to bring some people with me. You know what I mean? You guys might have to go up there and have them watch that
yeah.
loss in person. So um, I think that the sneaky one is Denver because I think Russell Wilson's gonna have a good start too. He always does, and especially because we talked about the Chargers and Kansas City. Everybody already knows what they do, right? We don't know what Denver's gonna do, really. Are they
Yeah.
gonna run the ball, or is Russell Wilson getting his Drew Brees moment when he's gonna get to throw the ball 650 times? We don't know yet. So it could be both. I
Yes.
mean, they could come out gunning it. And Russell Wilson, how I feel about him. I still think he's a top 4 quarterback. A lot of people will try to throw him off, but he had a good end. He played really well to end the year last year. I think that he's going to come out with a hot start. It's more about him with the end of the year, and we'll see how that goes. Teams figure out what they're trying to do and how to stop him again. But I think he's going to be a little dangerous. That's kind of the game that's a sneaky loss for me. Um,
Okay. I mean,
yeah,
I think we got to figure out a few things about that team. But yeah, on paper they're definitely situated pretty well. I mean, I guess Jerry Judy has some legal troubles, but it sounds like that's not going to be impact
yeah.
his availability too much. Cortland Sutton, I'm guessing, is coming back. He still plays for them, right? He didn't get like traded. I didn't miss that or anything,
No,
right? Cortland Sutton's on there on that team, right? Yeah.
no, it's just
So
it's a wide receiver twos over there. Everybody loves. That's
yeah, I
basically
mean, I like Cortland Sutton winning outside the numbers. I'm not never really big on Jared Judy. I don't like Tim Patrick, so I don't get the love that wide receiver group gets. But yeah, it's not like the worst wide receiver group. They got some good backs. They got Russell Wilson. They
yeah.
got a legit defense. Up and down. DBs and defensive linemen there.
Yeah,
So yeah, on paper it looks really good. So, but we'll see about the scheme and how it all meshes together. We'll see.
yeah,
But yeah, I like Kansas City early on in the year. I like getting a win against them. I'm not going to say the guaranteed dub or anything like that, but I think that the Raiders can steal a win from LA and from Kansas City early on in the year because they're going to be coming out with such a new identity.
Yeah.
So I think they have a better chance early on in the year winning against those teams.
The Titans game is an L though. Let's go ahead and mark that as an L. Mike Vrabel, he's gonna bring it to his little buddy. Tell you that. That's not gonna be.
Hankins and Farrell.
That's gonna be a game like because that's what I see. I see them losing to Tennessee and Denver, and the Tennessee game's gonna be ugly, and the Denver one's gonna be close, and everybody's gonna be like, well, "Can we win with Derek?" And they're gonna be like 2-2. Can't wait for those conversations.
Oh god!
All right,
you're already getting ready for it.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for the after the 2-0 start.
Talked about Patriots.
Mhm.
Okay, here, real quick. Week 14, Rams. Okay, going up against the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
At their house. I mean, Los Angeles to Vegas, it's not that big of a trip. It's the best road trip you could do, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Name a better one in terms of proximity. You know, like I guess Philly to New York, that's pretty close too. So, but it's a road atmosphere. The Raiders fans are gonna be there. I don't know. I think, there's probably a better chance than a lot of people are giving the Raiders right now at this point.
Yeah.
So circle that one, Raider Nation. I think that one's gonna be a fun one.
The only thing I'll say about the Rams, I mean, they're probably the only close to dominant football team in the NFL. There is no dominant football team right now. That's why, I think the NFL right now is up for grabs because there is no dominant football team. You mean like there's no team like, oh man, that's scary. Like we were scared of some of those Chiefs teams the last couple of years. We're like, oh man, how do you stop this team? They got all these players on their team, all these great players. So now, I mean, if you think about it, there's no like, oh, this team is just loaded, and the only team that you can think of is the Rams, right? So kind of feel from that perspective, that's gonna be it'll be a litmus test type of game to see how good the Raiders really are. Because I think the Rams are gonna be a really good team. I think Stafford's his confidence is gonna be sky high from having that Super Bowl, and he's gonna try to prove he has a chance to submit his legacy with all his stats if he can go and get another one. So I think he's gonna be hyped. He's gonna be ready to go, and but I think it'll be a litmus test game for the Raiders. But I think the Rams are just gonna be they're going to dominate the NFC because I don't even know a team that's really close to them over there, besides the Bucks. And that's just because they have Tom Brady. I have no real other reason than that. They got Tom Brady, so Tom's gonna figure it out. Third year in the system, yeah, he'll be fine. That's probably why I came back. Tom was like, sitting home like, man, I mean, it is my third year in the system, though. Maybe I should just make sure that nobody try to get the 800 touchdowns in my career. Make sure nobody passes any of my records. So
yeah, really, gosh, this guy single-minded. I guess that's why he's one of the greatest, or the greatest, really.
Yeah, he has to be at 700 by now. Somewhere close
Crazy.
to that.
All right, here I'm about to actually kick it to commercial break real quick.
Okay,
and then we'll come back and we'll do a video breakdown.